New thing. Algebra. Oh! I hate algebra. It's so scary. I don't like it. Raise your hand if you can solve that problem. Brett? Oh, so you could handle that problem. Okay, good. All right. So you belong here if you can solve this problem. Guess what? This is algebra. You've been doing it since you were in kindergarten. Except you hear the word algebra and you all go, "Ugh!" It's scary because there's letters and there's numbers and there's symbols and they don't all go together. Here's what we do in 6th grade. Instead of doing box plus 3 equals 10, we go A plus 3 equals 10, and everybody in this room can tell me that A equals 7. Okay? This is algebra. Truly and honestly, it is that simple. Okay? Don't make it harder than it ever really is, because it's not. A lot of people hear algebra and they freak out. It's not. It's easy. It's just, you need to understand how it works. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to teach you how this stuff works. Now, there's some vocabulary that goes along with algebra. You're going to hear the word variable, you're going to hear the word constant, and you're going to hear the phrase algebraic expression. Now, variable. Well, let's start with constant. What does the word constant mean? What does it mean? It doesn't change. It stays the same. Okay? In my little thing here, A plus 3, what is constant? What is something here that doesn't change? It doesn't matter what, it doesn't change. 3. 3 doesn't change. 3 is always going to be 3. Okay? If I have $3 and that $3 sits here on the desk and no one touches it, it's going to be $3 tomorrow. And it's going to be $3 10 years from now. It's always going to be 3. 3 is always 3. It doesn't change. Now, we can change this. This letter represents a number. We could say A equals 7. If we said A equals 7, then we'd have 7 plus 3, which equals 10. Now, what if we told you that A is 15? Then we'd plug 15 in here. 15 plus 3 equals 18. You see, the letter is changing. This letter just represents a number, and it could be any number. That's what is known as variable. It changes. You guys have all watched the weather, right? You've watched the meteorologist on television, you've heard him talk. He says things like winds are going to be light and variable. What does that mean? What does the variable mean? Variable means it doesn't change? It does change. 1 minute, the wind could be blowing at 5 miles an hour. The next minute, it could be blowing at 10. And the next minute, it could be down to 0. It changes. That's what variable means. It can change. So, what I'm going to have you guys look at is, we talked about that, a variable is a letter or symbol that changes constant. An algebraic expression contains one or more variables and may contain operation symbols. So, P times 7 is an algebraic expression. These are algebraic expressions. Numbers, symbols, letters. The other one is numerical expression. We already talked about that. What is a numerical expression? What does it have? What does it have? Numbers and symbols. That's it. Look, numbers, symbols, numerical expressions. Algebraic expressions, the only difference is algebraic has letters. All right, let's get into the good stuff here. Watch how hard this is. I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky. Okay. We take this 16 here because this column up and down, columns are up and down, this column represents y. This column represents whatever 5 times y is. So when y is 16, we plug the 16 in there, and we go, this is 5 times 16, which is 80. For this one, we take 27, we plug it in for y, we go 5 times 27. What is 5 times 27? 135. For this one, we take 35, we plug it in for y, and this is 5 times 35, which is 175. Isn't that tough? Yeah, it's super hard. I don't think you can do it. I have confidence in you. It's easy. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Too hard, I'm going home. You know what? This is just as easy. You guys have done this before. You have done this. This is so simple. Watch. You take, because this column up and down here represents z. This column is whatever z is divided by 5 plus 4 to the second power. So you take this 20, you plug it in for z, and you end up with this problem. 20 divided by 5 plus 4 to the second power. That looks like something you have done before, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Yes.
You did it yesterday. It's order of operations. That's why math is the way that it is. We do one thing one day, you master that thing, you learn how to do that stuff, then the next day we add one thing to it. So the only thing that we are adding, the only new thing you're learning today is how to take this number and put it in for a letter. Everything else you've done before. So essentially today, when you go home and mom and dad or grandma and grandpa or whoever ask you, what did you learn in math today? You can say, I learned how to put a number in for a letter. Because that's the only new thing you're learning today. Everything else you've already done. This order of operations, what comes first? What do we have to do? What? No, I'm sorry. Maybe we didn't learn as good as we think we did. What comes first? Look it. It's got an exponent. Please excuse. There's no parentheses, so we got to go to exponent. So it's this right here. So now our new problem is 20 divided by 5 plus 16. Now what do? Now we do the division, which is 4 plus 16. And that's how we come up with 20. Okay? On your whiteboards, I want you guys to do this one. Figure out this. Don't just give me the answers. I want to see your work. I want to see what you plugged in and where you plugged it in. Okay, so once you've plugged 45 in for Z, again, you solve the problem like this. You show me one step at a time. This is 16. 45 divided by 5 plus 16. Now we do this step. This is 9 plus 16, which is 25. That plugs in there. Okay? Yeah, go ahead. Do the next one. Show me the next one. Show me the work. We're running out of time. Once we plug all of these in, this ends up right here. This is 60. So we do this first. This becomes a 16. We got 60 divided by 5 plus 16. That goes next. 12 plus 16 is 28. 28 goes there. Okay? Listen, please show your work. You have to. I gotta see where you went wrong if you went wrong. Okay? Don't worry about it. Just tell me what goes in this box. 4. Because we take this 36, we plug it in there, 36, so then we got 36 divided by 9 is 4. Here, plug that in. 54 divided by 9 is? I'm glad you said that. Because you know what? Here's what's going to happen. I would bet a Twix bar on it that I'm going to have people that are going to be doing this, and they're going to want to do this. Let's say that's there, and they're going to go, "Oh, Mr. Eichmann, I see a pattern. It's going 2, 4, 6. This has got to be 8." We are not looking for patterns. You have to plug this in. You have to take this 63, and you will know if you plug 63 in there, 63 divided by 9 is 7. Okay? Do not try and look for a shortcut, or you will be sad because you will end up making a mistake. Do you understand me? Just do 9. That's all I want to see. Tell me what goes in this box. All right, good job, because we got 8 times, take this 9, plug it in there, 9 plus 2 to the 3rd. This is 8. 8 times 9 plus 8, 72, plus 8 is 80. So 80 goes there. Good. Just quickly, I want to talk to you about algebra. There are some important rules about algebra. I know I'm losing some of you because we've been here a long time. Please pay attention to this. This is super important. Okay? There are different ways to write algebra. Instead of x times 3, this is why in the elementary building, I wish they would teach you the dot, but they don't. They teach you the x. Do they always start out? I wish they started out with the dot, and you never saw the x. Here's why, because you get to algebra, and we use x all the time in algebra, and people confuse the x, and they can make it they think it's a time symbol when it's actually a variable, okay? So from now on, I do not want to see any x's. I want to see dots. X times 3, you can write it that way. You can also write it x in parentheses 3. You know what? I'm usually not going to see this. I don't want to see this. Okay? You can do it, but it's not good. This is the way I prefer. This is the neatest way to write it. 3x. That is not 3 times. That is 3 times x. Okay? So, and notice, the number comes first. If you do this, I'm going to talk to you. Okay? I'm going to say, don't do that. So, everybody repeat after me. I promise. I will put the number in front of the letter. Now you all promised. Okay? Okay, now here's the next thing I want to show you. Also, division. Instead of writing division, there's other ways to do this. We got 35 divided by y. Anybody have any idea what's another way to write it? Espen? A slash? It's a fraction. Every fraction you've ever seen is actually a division problem. 35 divided by y. 35 over y. Notice, the top number, the first one is the top number. You have to be careful about order. 35, you read it top to bottom. 35 divided by y. Okay? So those are new things for you to learn, and remember how we represent multiplication and division. And like I said, x3, don't do it. I will get angry. It says a rectangle is 4 units wide. How many square units does the rectangle cover? If it is 3, 4, 5, or 6 units long, okay, you're going to have a problem that looks like this on your homework. Basically, make a chart. One column is length, one column is width, one column is length times width. The length is 3, 4, 5, and 6, and your width is 4, 4, 4, 4. So somebody tell me, which one is your constant and which one is your variable? Your width is your constant because it always stays the same. Your length is your variable because that's what changes. All right? So what would go in this dot? What would go right here? 16 goes here. What goes here? 20 and 24. Okay? Your homework. Page 56 to 57, 4 to 10, just even, and then 11 to 25 all. Yeah.
Don't forget to bring in your health review and your health book, something else to work on. I love when they ask me this stuff on Google Classroom. Should be in the